Today we'll be discussing about computer vision by using Microsoft Cognitive Services. Now, what is Microsoft Cognitive Services? Okay, these are basically the services that are provided by Microsoft for machine learning and AI stuff. So here is the website of this particular Microsoft where they have actually provided the features of AI with machine learning. In this, you have something called as cognitive searches services, sorry, where you have different kind of APIs, search API, vision APIs, knowledge APIs, language APIs, and speech APIs. So all these APIs does some functions based on some ML and AI concepts. When I take with respect to vision APIs, so this kind of API is basically used for image processing, finding image classification that we usually do with the help of convolution neural network, again multiple object detection, which again we use by using some deep neural convolution neural networks. So all these services are actually provided by Microsoft, and it is state of art, you can say, because these APIs that are provided, they have done a lot of research on the background for it. A lot of people have worked on it, and this actually provides a state of art. Uh, Now, why should we use this? Like, there may be various companies, right? They can actually create their own team, and they can actually create their own vision. They can always create their own convolution neural network model. The main aim is that companies, when there is a small startup companies, right, and if they want to use something and they want to create their apps or they want to create the web application very fast and possible, they can use the vision APIs. So they can use these APIs from the Microsoft itself, instead of it basically takes more time, because there needs to be a lot of research within the team, and they need some people who can actually do those kind of work, because convolution neural network is really a complicated task, because the number of neurons, the convolution layers that are actually used for pre-processing the images is really difficult task. Okay, so usually startups, what they do is that they usually use different kind of services, either that is cognitive services that are actually provided by Microsoft. Even AWS also provides this service, and even Google also provides this service. Again, it is a paid service, and you have to pay some amount of money to them, and it completely depends on the number of requests that you are getting on their APIs. Based on that, your costing is actually done. Again, not only vision APIs, there are different kind of APIs like language APIs, speech APIs. So speech APIs can be basically converting, uh, your voice to text, converting text to voice, and different kind of stuffs like sentiment analysis, which can also be done in Python, which is an open source tool. But this so APIs actually do a great lot of thing, because I'll just show you by executing one sample program, and you'll understand this, how efficient it is. Okay, once I click on this vision APIs, I can actually um, go and see over here. So here is an example. If I use an analyze function on an image, how does it return the response from that particular API? So this is just an example. In the left hand side, you can see a bullet train, there's a platform, and if I give this image to that particular service, that is a computer vision service, then it actually provides this response back. And this looks like it has a train, it has a platform. So these are the various tracks that it can actually see from these images. Okay, and now this is actually true, right? There's so many things that is actually can capture, and the caption also shows that what, like, people are waiting at the train station. This is just absolute, right? What a perfection, I guess. And it also provides some confidence. So confidence is nothing but accuracy. It will be with 83.3 accuracy over here. Similarly, there's different kind of tags over here. You can see subway, all those things, and even the JPG format it has actually captured. So this is a kind of analyzing the image. Again, I'll be just showing you how we can actually code this. So in order to understand it, first of all, I need to go to the documentation, because in the documentation you'll get all the reference materials how you can actually call these APIs. Just go to the API quick starts, and you can actually get the code in all the programming language. Since this is an API, it can be used as a web service. So you can request for any other programming language, whether you're working in Python, you're working in C sharp. Now I'll be showing you with the help of C sharp, because, and if I click on analyze an image, and if I go down, I'll basically be getting the code over here. So this is basically the code. Again, there is something called as subscription key and there is something called as URI base. From where do we get this? Okay, that is the question. Now for that you have to actually set up an account in Microsoft Azure. Once you create an Azure account, just go and click on this create a resource. Again, this is a paid service, but initially if you just sign it up, uh, basically you'll be getting a $200 credit, which you can use for a month, and based on the upgrades they may charge you later on. Okay, now just create a resource, just go and create this particular resource. After creating a resource you just need to type as vision, and you have to select this computer vision, give all the information, and then you can actually do it. This was how thing is made. Now let me just go and click my services that I have actually created. So okay, let me select this. So this is my cognitive services that I've actually created, and you can see that the subscription is for free trial. So if I go to the overview over here, I'll be getting some information like what API I have to hit. This is my API that I have to use, and it is version 1.0. Again, this API I will just I can paste it over here. Oops, just a second. I can paste this API at this particular URI base. Okay, and that is and the last thing that I have to add is this particular analyze method, because I'm trying to analyze an image which is shown from the left hand side, and the subscription key will be actually specified here by just clicking on this show access keys. I can't share you the keys, so just click on this. You'll be able to get two keys, key 1 and key 2. Just select the key 1 and paste it over here, paste it over here in this place, and just copy and paste the same thing. I'll just copy and paste the same code in my Microsoft Visual Studio. Again, the subscription key I'll be filling soon, and URI base I'll be filling soon. The next thing is that I started my main function. In the main function I'll just give my image path. So image path can be anything over here. So I've just given one sample of the image path. I'll show you what image path is there. And there is a function that is called as make analysis request. What this function is doing is that it is just creating the REST API, and it is just filling up the headers with the subscription key and the parameters that are required. This visual features is equal to category. These are the various parameters that we can actually provide on the API request, such that whenever we get the response, we get all these categories, description, colors, and based on what language I need to get the information. Then the next step is basically I'll be creating the whole URL and including all the request parameters. Then the next thing after this is that obviously, like if I want to pass the image, I need to convert this image into byte data, right? So if I go to get image a byte as array, I'm passing this as a file stream and converting it to byte data. So if I just go back, here is my byte data. By using this byte data, again, if you know .NET, I'm just requesting the URI over here, and you can see that I'm using a async operation over here. So once I request the URL, I'll be getting back the response. Now the response will be based on all these details that I have, like categories, descriptions, colors, and language. I'll show you like how it works again by running this code. Then get image. Oh, okay, this is done. I'll get the response, and I'm just calling this JSON pretty print. So JSON pretty print is a function which is actually used for displaying my response. So this is just a code, just for the visual purpose I've written this code so that I can display the response. Again, all this code is present in this particular library. You can just copy and paste all these things. So replace your subscription key and your URI base from the from the Azure itself. So you can actually find the endpoint address over here and the manage from, and you can find the subscription key from this row access keys. Okay. Now, what is the next thing is that I will try to run this code. I'll try to give the image and I'll try to run this code. First of all, I'll fill this subscription key and URI base, and then I'll try to run this code. Okay, now I have added the subscription key. The image that we are trying to actually analyze is this dog image, right? So let us see, like if I pass this image as the parameter, uh, how this image gets analyzed and what all information we'll be getting from this image. Okay, so this image name is actually cute dog. Okay, I will just go on top and replace this image name with Qt. That's it. Now let me just run this and see. This isn't just a console application, so you can just run this and we can see what is the output over here. Okay, let's see the output. The request has actually gone to the API, and let's see. Oh, now we let us analyze this particular scene. So, yes, the response is there. I had requested categories, I had requested descriptions, I had requested captions. All these things are there. The name, you can see the animal underscore dog. It has actually, I mean, predicted so properly that it is able to get what that particular animal is. Again, in the backend, just remember that this particular API has been trained. I mean, this particular model has been trained with so and so many images. Just imagine the number of resources it may have required, the GPU or the pre-processing resources. That now it is really really difficult for a startup to do this. Again, unless and until they don't have a proper revenue, I mean a proper amount of capital in that particular company. So this Microsoft service also a cognitive service also gives you a state of art. It actually provides you a state of art performance. Now the best example is with respect to this image. I'm able to get what is a dog, how much is the score. That is, this is basically my accuracy. Now apart from that, I get different kinds of description from that image also, because the background of the image may be anything, right? There may be some grass. He would basically, a dog is an outdoor, it's an animal, it's sitting, it's small, what is the color, different kind of parameters. Again, the most favorite part that I see is the caption, right? But by just seeing the image, it is able to determine the caption: a small dog playing with a frisbee, and the confidence is around 78%. So this is what it is trying to think from that particular image, and it is creating this caption. Apart from that, you can see different type of information like color, gray, green, and request data. So just understand that this is a very good technique for a startup, for students to actually practice. I'm not saying that you should not learn about convolution neural networks from Python and all, but at least you should learn those. You should understand how this classification actually applies, how this object detection actually applies, how you can analyze the images by using different kind of libraries like OpenCV. But this Microsoft Community Service, if you are actually going for a startup, I think this is the best thing that you can actually use for creating your applications as soon as possible, so that you can actually focus on your revenue generation. So I hope you like this video. Again, in my next video, I'll try to show you how we can actually create different kind of thumbnails by using Microsoft Cognitive Services. Again, multiple object detection also will be done in the upcoming classes. Again, I think I'm finding this more interesting. So I would also like you to request you to please subscribe the channel so that you don't miss any of these contents. And these are very important contents if you want to work. And many companies are also trying to use this strategy that are provided by Microsoft itself. They're trying to use these cognitive services to excel their work, to do it in a speedy way. Um, okay, if you like the video, do like it, subscribe it, share with your friends. See you till then. Bye all.